Oh, I got another mess on my hands here. What we have here is this will be the final honest to God video for Grab My Goobers. He's got a Jamma extension cable here from JammaBoards.com. These are a piece of crap. They work in the fact that if you're just going to extend one Jamma board, they're fine probably. But when a lot of people get these a lot when they're using the switcher project. Now the cables and wires they have here for your power. They look beefy enough, but they're actually not. The insulation is thicker than the actual wire. So the problem people run into is that these don't carry the signal for the voltage very well. So what you end up having to do is turn the voltage way up on your power supply. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either turn up the voltage on your power supply. I could recommend that, or you could add wiring to the extender harness here. Now I don't necessarily recommend that, but what I do is you can look at the solder job they do on these, and some of them are pretty substandard. Like if you look, maybe you can tell, the actual gauge of the wire is about a third of the size of the insulation, so it looks like you've got a plenty good thick gauge of wire, but you actually don't. So a lot of times I go through here and reflow all this stuff to possibly give a better connection. But what I'm going to recommend doing is I want to grab my goobers to actually just increase the voltage on this power supply, turn it up a little bit, and it should be fine. That in combination with reflowing all this stuff, he should be good. So I wanted to give him a heads up and everybody else out there, when you use these for your switcher project, because the switcher pulls so much power, you need to turn up the voltage on your power supply, because otherwise it's going to give you problems and glitches and issues, and that's just the quick fix is to turn up the voltage on the power supply. Also, I wanted to mention that and the fact that there's missing connections on these. On your connector here, this pin right here that's missing a wire is your video ground. On the other side here you've got red, green, blue. You got a red, green, blue connection, and then over here is this connection for your video ground. But you'll notice there's nothing there. So what you have to do is, because as far as the PCB is concerned, the ground is a ground is a ground. So you've got a whole plethora of wires over here going to your ground. You can dike any of these off. Just pick one at random, dike it off, and then resolder it to this post right there with nothing. That'll take care of your video ground problem. And then also there's two wires here on this one post. There's two wires here. Let me separate them here. You see them, one, two maybe. There's two wires here. One of them is coin 1, one of them is coin 2. So you have to, I don't know offhand, you have to find whichever corresponding connection those wires go to. And on this side you have the wire, you have two wires on this one pin on this end, and they go to the correct side right here, coin 1 and coin 2. However, this is the side that hooks to the Jamma connector and the machine. Sorry, and then this is the side that hooks to your board or your switcher. So you're not going to have an input for your coin 2 on the switcher side. This side here will be coin 1, and then the opposite side right here will be coin 2. You see nothing's there on that post furthest to the right with my finger. There's no wire there. So you got to find the corresponding wire for coin 2 on this end and trace it back and find out which one of these two it is, dike it off, and then resolder it to this side. That'll take care of your coin 2. Now when I say coin 2, I mean the coin number 2 slot, or coin 2 slot. If you imagine you have on the front of your machine your coin 1 and coin 2. If you put a quarter in coin 2, it's not going to work because there's no wire feeding your board on the coin 2 connection. So only your coin 1 will work. So if you have set up where you're actually using coins and you want coin 2 slot to work, you got to find out what wire it is that's the 2 over here and move it over to 1, or vice versa. Find out which one over here on the coin 1 connection is number 2 and put it on here. So I wanted to point those issues out. I have not modded this yet or done anything. I don't need to really chronicle how to do it. I just explained it, so I just wanted to tell you about it. So anybody out there who gets these from JammaBoards.com, you're going to have to modify it, unless you're just doing from your Jamma connector to your PCB. That's fine. But if you're going to be using this for a Jamma project, because the Jamma switcher uses so much power, a lot of times, I'd say 90% of the time, you're going to run into problems if you don't either beef this up or turn up the voltage on your power supply. And that's it. So thanks for watching. And oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to mention something else here. This here, get it all in frame. That was the length of the original Player 3 harness that Grab My Goobers sent me. There was this. It hooked to right here, and you can see I extended it with another player 3 harness. Let me see if I can't get it all in frame. Okay, so here's all in frame. You can see right about here is where I diked it. So his original harness was only this long. I don't know if you can tell. It was only, I don't know, 2.5 feet long, which is quite a lot shorter than the rest of these. So what I did was, I have, in the previous video or one before that, I'm not sure, I talked about or showed how much extra Jamma crap I've got. So I grabbed one of my extra player 3 harnesses and spliced it in here and actually extended it. So now he's got 5 harnesses that are this long. They're all the same length. Well, actually, the player 3 harness is now even longer. But before, I don't know, I'm using a different camera here, so I can't tell if it's all in frame or not. But you can see how much longer they are now. All 5 of them are roughly 4 feet long. And originally, this one was only 2.5 feet long. So you had these 4 right here that were 4.5, 5 feet long. I don't know. Let's see here. I'm 6'3", so 4 feet. You had these 4 that were 4 feet long, 4.5 feet, and this one here was only 2.5 feet. So now he's got 5 harnesses that are all the same length. Let's see. There we go. He's got 5 harnesses that are now all the same length. Because when I was doing the Jamma switcher testing for him, I was noticing that if he was trying to use this extender harness, it was going to be incredibly difficult for him to even use the player 3 harness that he sent me that I wired in, because it was so damn short. That pretty much would have nixed his ability to use the Jamma extension harness. So I figured, you know, I don't want to send it off to him and have him not be able to use one of the harnesses. So I went ahead and extended it, and he should be good to go. He's got all 5 harnesses are now the same length, and as a matter of fact, the player 3 is even longer. So I'm going to mod that Jamma extender harness and get everything shipped out to him. So this will be the final video, I promise. So next video will be the last part of the Mortal Kombat 1 restoration. I've got the side art fixed. I'll tell you how I did that. It was compliments of our friend CTazi123, but I'll explain that later. And then I'm going to be doing the Lexan overlay tomorrow, and then I'll be doing a final video of the restoration of MK1. And then in 2 days from now, it's back off to Afghanistan. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and then I'll see you whenever I come back. So thanks for watching.